everyone. Today I'm joined by an important guest. His name is Saad Khan. Now, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, I remember you were telling me some of your favorite sports. What do they
hmm
happen to be?
Uh, Basketball, football, soccer now.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
I've been getting into soccer recently.
Okay. You have any favorite teams?
Um, for basketball, it's the Lakers. I've always loved the Lakers, like ever since Kobe was there. Um, Football, the 49ers, Bay Area, home team. Um, I'm gonna be honest, for basketball, it would have been the Warriors, but I didn't even know at the time that we had a Bay team until they started popping off. So,
Mhm.
uh, soccer, I wouldn't say like I have a favorite team like that I found, but like everyone loves Real Madrid. But I feel my favorite player is definitely Neymar for sure.
Neymar. Okay.
Yeah, I like his play style.
Oh, that's it. So you're a fan of Kobe.
hmm Yeah, yeah, yeah. Big
It's
Kobe
funny.
fan.
I actually used to watch a lot of his videos, especially
hmm
motivational videos. I'm sure you
Yeah,
probably see it. Yeah,
yeah. There's a lot of motivational Kobe videos and like
yeah,
just his mentality and all that.
yeah. Mama mentality, right?
Mamba mentality, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Black Mamba.
yeah. They, I don't know. There's so many stories of his where he would just be working so hard.
His work ethic was different, totally different.
Yeah. I think
Um,
a lot of people can definitely relate to it.
yeah. There's a lot of stories where like basketball players say like, oh, they come into the gym, Kobe's there. They leave the gym, he's still there. Like, it's dedication for sure.
Yeah. I think it's really important because especially for any sport really, I think the best way to really get good at it is to drill and just drill a
hmm
lot
hmm
constantly.
I think it's also your like mentality towards it. It's like, do I have to do this or do I get to do this?
That's a good
It's
point,
like,
yeah.
do I have to wake up or do I get to wake up? Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it'd be a lot worse if you couldn't wake up, right?
right? Exactly. So
Yeah,
it's like the way you look at things, it affects you a lot.
yeah. And I think with him, he really embodied what
hmm
chasing greatness really is.
Right? Yeah. And like without taking any easy like routes. So like we all know he stayed a Laker, faithful. So that comes with ups and downs. It's not just like smooth sailing, right?
Yeah, and he also stayed after even after Shaq retired, just to prove
hmm
that he didn't need Shaq, right?
hmm Yeah. That's just like you have to have like the dog in you, you know? Like certain things just have to like set you off. Like that won't set the normal person off.
Yeah, I think a lot of men in general could for sure relate to him because
hmm
that competitive spirit.
Yeah, the competitive nature.
Yeah, which unfortunately I feel like it's somewhat lost nowadays.
It's low
And
key
for
like
yeah,
diminishing. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't think a lot of dudes are willing to really work for
hmm
it.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah.
they mostly either want to let's pretend to work for it,
hmm
or they are just acting like they're working for it when in reality they're not.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like social media plays a role in that for like
Really?
the acting part. Because
Oh, yeah,
most of these like athletes that are like working that hard are like trying to make it to that professional level, right?
yeah,
So they also have like to have that social media presence as well. Sometimes like one's higher than the other.
yeah. That's actually a good point because well,
It's
Kobe
a
kind of
brand.
lived in yeah, because
Yeah.
Kobe kind of lived in that era where it was I mean, social media was just coming up, but he also lived in the era right before it too. You know,
hmm hmm
so I mean, a lot of these stories you hear of his work ethic, it's not even from like himself per se. It's like other people relating it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's like with him and during like that time period, you couldn't really like fake it as much, right?
Hmm. Right.
So I think you do have a point there with like how social media can like in a way like uh build up this facade of hard work, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Which is like it's also fair play because like that's the world we live in. You got to make it like any means possible.
No, that's true. I think a lot of I think when a lot of dudes they see this, it's like they think that they need to work, but like maybe the person that is preaching that may not even be working that hard, right?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like if you ever want to like say something to someone, look at yourself first, like if you're doing that thing or not, or if you're not doing that thing or not, right? So before it's like you, look at me first in
Yeah,
that aspect of things. But with Kobe, man, like he was just a go-getter. Like I remember I seen like a picture of him in his like PJs with like a broken hand finger and like still practicing his free throws. So like some people would think, oh, I have a broken hand, like I could relax, just let it heal. I would probably do that too. Um, but yeah, like I mean, but seeing that like that makes me think now like, oh, no, actually you could be doing that too. Like you should be doing that.
that was true.
So it
I think
adds
it really.
motivation. Yeah.
I don't know. You were saying.
No, go ahead.
I don't know. I was just saying like he really embodied that like aspect of no excuses.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
Which
if
is
you.
like I feel like great for the youth.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because one thing that he did say is that well, like what essentially is greatness is inspiring the next generation,
Hmm.
right?
I
Which
like that. Yeah.
yeah, which unfortunately it seems like unfortunately like I guess like our generation or
Our
newer
generation.
generation,
Yeah.
right? Like they're not as inspired to do great
Hmm.
things,
Hmm.
right? They just want to stay at the mediocre like average.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, that given also, I feel like this generation has so much potential.
Yeah,
Cause I mean, um, I do coaching for like little kids,
I really love that.
basketball. Yeah. And like I be like talking to these kids and like sometimes they just like blow my mind. Like it's crazy what the things they say. And like good things obviously.
Really.
So
Do
yeah, I
you have
feel like
any specific examples or not?
um specific examples like one of the girls she just went to India, right? And she
Yeah,
came back and she was just telling me things that like I've never even heard of and like even thought of and she was just like explaining it with like every detail and she was only like 11. So
yeah.
I was just thinking like that couldn't have been me when I was 11. I was just doing dumb things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
No,
she
that's
was
true.
like giving intricate details. Like I was like, this is like a tourist guide or something.
Really.
Yeah.
Okay. It's pretty cool, actually.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this generation for sure, like you said, has that potential, but I don't think as many people are unlocking it as they should be.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it also has to do, at least, like obviously, as men, we can speak, right? That I think a lot of it is, it's kind of like pushed down, you know, and looked down
Hmm.
upon, right? And
Hmm.
just in general, there's a lot of discouragement, right, from pursuing something that is, I guess, like extraordinary.
Right. Um, I feel like that, like, I don't know if it's the parents or like with what's going on, like with everything that happened in like the past couple years. Um, I don't know. I like it's I you could definitely see it. It's noticeable. Um, there's a sense of like cautiousness going on, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
But if I had to like, dude, if you have a dream or like something that you really, really enjoy, go after it. Like chase that to any like to the very end. Everyone thinks like life is like a smooth plane. There's gonna be ups and downs, like rivers you're gonna have to cross. Like life's not easy. It's not.
that's true. That's true. Because um, I mean, I like you said, like it could be parents, it could be something else. I think it's like a bunch of things all together.
Hmm.
But like you said, that I mean, and history displays that whoever usually is the one that's chasing greatness is the one that's rewarded with it.
Hmm.
With
So like, there's like a basketball saying, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take,
yeah,
right? And like
yeah,
I tell like my students this, you miss this one, it's okay. Shoot the next one. You're gonna make it. If you miss that one, who cares? Shoot it again. You're gonna make it eventually. So like it's
yeah,
not like don't dwell on the past of like on your failures or whatever. Learn from them and move on. Learn from it, move on.
yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, because I mean, yeah, you mess up once, but from that you can learn a lot more than you might learn from victory, right?
Hmm. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, "You got to learn how to lose first to learn how to win."
Yeah, no, that's a very good saying, and that's honestly true.
It is. It is. In like any given aspect, not just basketball.
Yeah, no, in life in general, I think that's a very good aspect. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah,
People don't want to lose. They just want to win
yeah,
right away.
yeah, no, that's true. If I'm not mistaken, like I think Abdul Karim Jabbar, as you said, I think funny enough, I think he actually train with Bruce Lee at one point.
Yeah, I feel like he was in a movie, right? With
Yeah, I mean it never
yeah.
got released like officially,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, like it was like one of Bruce Lee's like it was supposed to be like I guess like
I
his
didn't even know
last
that.
movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called A Game of Death,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where
He
like
was
Bruce Lee
like
like he fights
super
like
tall, like yeah.
he's like fights a super tall dude. Like, but
Hmm.
before that, he fights like two other dudes, right?
Hmm.
And then at the last level, it's like Abdul Karim Jabbar
Yeah,
waiting for
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. He has like glasses on. Yeah.
Yeah,
What is it called? Um, dude, Tim Duncan, he also does kickboxing, I think, right?
really.
Yeah, yeah. Like after he retired, he got into kickboxing. Apparently, like he's pretty good.
Yeah. No, I think there are like I think sports in general. I think
It
it's
prepares
really
you for like any other sport, to be honest. If like
yeah,
you're in a decent sport at a young age, you're pretty much set.
yeah,
Like, most of my friends, like, they could play multiple sports
yeah,
and they're like decent at every sport. They're not like, yeah. So, and like, I feel like the best sport to play at a young age is like soccer or basketball.
really.
Yeah. Cause like, they're team building sports. I didn't say football because like, the only reason I didn't say football, um, contact sport.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want my child in that at a young age. Probably if they
yeah,
were in high school, if they wanted to, but
yeah,
not that young.
yeah.
But
No,
yeah, like
actually, that's a good
soccer
point.
and basketball, like team sports, they prepare you, um, and you just learn how to move with your body, your mind, and like it's cool.
Yeah. No, I actually do like that point you brought up about football, and I do agree. I don't think it's maybe like two hand touch football, maybe, right? Or
Or like
flag
flag
football.
football, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that might be fine. But even with like football, or if it's like MMA or like some form of like combat sports, I
Mm-hmm.
just don't think it's good to do that at a young age. Now, I think the training is good, at
Training
least
is
in
good. Yeah,
yeah, at
not
least in martial arts,
competition.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
not
it can
competitively.
build discipline,
Mm-hmm.
and it builds like it for sure builds a body up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it has like those two aspects. But I
Look,
don't
like,
think you should compete in that until you're a bit like older.
yeah, yeah. Like I was gonna say, look at almost any boxer that talks about their life and like what boxing did for them. They always say like it straightened them out. It gave them like a routine, a regimen. Like
Yeah.
it helps.
Yeah, no, that's true. No, I think sports in general, they really do build discipline,
Hmm.
especially for like I guess like young boys, but as they grow up into men, right?
Hmm. No, for girls as well. Like it also like helps them. It's no
Yeah, no,
different.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think at least with team sports, well, even with like singular sports, I
Hmm.
mean, you will notice that there is like this, I guess like this brotherhood in a way,
Hmm. Yeah.
which does seem to be lacking a bit nowadays, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, it's crazy. Like, I started playing like soccer like 3 years ago, I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
And like I never played soccer before in my life.
really.
So like I was straight. I was bad, okay? Like I wasn't any good. I was just there for a body, like they needed a
Okay.
player. So but like I kept on like coming, because like my friends were there, like it was fun. Um and then like eventually like I noticed I started getting better, like I could control the ball. Fast forward, like whenever like we play soccer, like have pickup, we all play. And then whenever we have like basketball pickup, I realized like my soccer friends, we were like in sync. Like we were doing passes that we would do in soccer, but in basketball. Like we would just know where each other like would be, if that makes sense.
So you're saying
So
it's kind of built more of a bond in a way.
a bond, yeah, like sports creates a bond, especially like at a young age. It's like like that child is so vulnerable. Like it's like this.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think in general, like sports do build like a bond.
Hmm.
And you know, it's actually funny you mentioned soccer. I That was actually one of my first sports that I really
Yeah,
got into before. I mean, I started doing MMA and stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What positions do you play?
I was mostly like, I mean, it wasn't like I didn't play for like an official team, to be
Oh,
honest.
you
It was
just
like
play for fun.
it was
Yeah,
like for recess and whatnot, right?
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but mostly I
That's
used
how
to
it
play
started
as
basketball.
defender.
Like
Yeah,
I never played on no team or anything.
yeah.
And I think I started pretty late, like eighth grade. That's when I first started playing basketball.
Oh,
And like
really?
everything is pretty much like self-taught, or like I just like saw from others or learned from others. Like I didn't have no coach or like classes or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel you because it's like yeah, I mean, like you said, it build. I think the whole point is to build up the skill, right?
Hmm.
Regardless of what age you start.
Yeah. Um, it's crazy. Like the kids I have right now, they're from like the ages from like 9 to 12, and they're doing like dribble moves, shots, like all of that, right? And like I'm thinking that's crazy. Like I learned all of this stuff like eighth grade. These kids are learning it at like 9, 10, 11. So imagine like what they're going to be doing at eighth grade if they're learning this so early.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, that's true. I mean, because usually, like you said, right? I think um, gener the generations that come after another generation, they tend to pick up things a little faster because
yeah,
they
yeah,
have the assistance of the previous generation.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
That's why like we're like every generation advances. That's That's why.
Yeah, no, that's true because in a way, and this is human history, right? That's why civilization has advanced so much. Is
Hmm.
because there were like what, like thousands of generations that have built up things
Yeah,
to get to this point, right? Right. There was a point in human history where like they like discovered how to make the wheel, right? For
hmm,
example. And now because of just that, the one like thing, now we have like cars, like
exactly.
trains,
Yeah.
right? I guess even to an extent like
What?
a plane, because they have wheels on there too.
Hmm. What like might have felt so small or like big back then, but feels small now has great effect. Like it's crazy to think like every action you make right now has a rippling effect to like future whatever happens, you know?
Yeah, no, that's true. Exactly what Kobe said, right? Greatness is about inspiring the next generation.
Hmm.
Right?
So like you see Kobe, right? Like inspiring the next generation.
Yeah,
It's crazy when you become a professional athlete. You can't just be like goofing around. Like you have a crazy following behind you that like looks up to you. So it's up to you like what image you want to come out with. And
yeah,
I feel like that on professional athletes has such a big mental toll that everyone just doesn't want to talk about. Because at the end of the day, you're human, I'm human. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, they're both human. So they're both considered like right now the greatest in the sport, right? But you look at
yeah.
them, they're completely different human beings. So at the end of the day, these athletes are human beings. So I guess treat them as such. Don't expect them to be godly. Yeah.
No, that's true. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point because yeah, they're not like unfollowable like angels, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if I was watching this one video, right? And it's like at the time when Michael Jordan, obviously, right, one of the best basketball players, like arguably of all time, right? And like when he was like playing in his prime and whatnot, right? Like everyone would refer to him like as like Black Jesus, right? Or
Yeah.
Black Cat or whatever, right? And they had this
Hmm.
super elevated like view of him, right?
Right.
But then Kobe came along and he's like, nah, he's just human just like me. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna play against him one on one
Not
as hard as I
exactly.
can.
It's like he said like when I like first played against him, like you could see him in person. Like he felt his like body like backing down like on him in the paint, and like he's like, oh, like this guy's human. Like I could do what he could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny, right? Because it's like, even though for sure, like Michael Jordan is like a very unique player, right?
Hmm.
I think a lot of people criticize Kobe for like stealing his moves and whatnot, right?
Hmm. But like you look at it as like then that's how like life is, you know. I learned from my dad. My kid's gonna learn from me what I learned from my dad. So Jordan learned from someone, right?
Yeah,
And then Kobe got it from Jordan, and now the whole generation got it from Kobe.
yeah. No, that's true. It's like it shouldn't be looked down
Before
upon.
Steph, it was Kobe, right? Now
Yeah,
Steph came, everyone shoots the ball and says Steph.
yeah,
So it's just generations. Watch, like this year now, it's like the new generation, like John Morant, everyone's on that hype.
yeah. No, that's true. I think that's a good point because it's like, I guess, like stealing moves or whatever, right? I think it's
I
not something
steal
that
moves,
should be
bro.
like,
I
it's
steal
not something that
moves.
should, huh?
I steal moves. If I
Yeah,
like
see,
it, I'm gonna take it,
the
bro.
only thing worth stealing, right?
Yeah. What? It's basketball or in any
Yeah,
sport, bro.
yeah. No, that's
If you
true
think you
because
could add it to your bag, add it.
yeah, no, that's true. It's like that. It's not something that should be looked down upon because
Mm-hmm.
um
Because stealing is a move is learning. That's what it is. You're
yeah.
getting more knowledge.
Also, it's like it shows. I mean, in a way, Kobe did show like, hey, like he's just human just like I am,
Mm-hmm.
and I can do the same thing that he can do.
No, I think the like thing that blows my mind about like Kobe is he had an interview and he was talking about like defending and like some player that like was hard to like guard for him. And he said Kevin Durant because he couldn't figure out his like rhythm in his turns. He said when he first came in, I could block off his left because he was weak on his left. So like little things like that. He started counting down to the seconds, like till he takes a shot when he goes either way. So like it's crazy, like the detail that these players go into.
Yeah. No, that's actually a really good point because I feel like in basketball they really like study these minute like details, and
hmm
this is
Even in
actually
football too, like
yeah.
for like I forgot his name. He was on the Panthers. It was he was on defense, but dude, this guy he like could read your defense. Like he would call the plays and tell like his teammates which way and what was going on. Like the LeBron of football, basically.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like I forget his name, but yeah.
Okay. No, that's a good point because I feel like in other sports they really do look into the details and look at
Mhm.
um like you said the rhythm and like the
They
patterns.
break a
Like,
player down.
yeah, and they really break it down. And there's actually this one MMA coach, right? His name is Barry Robinson, right? And even he said something like, honestly, just watch other sports and you will learn more in them than just by watching MMA. Because what they do is a little more objective compared to what people in MMA, and I will admit, do tend to be a bit more emotional on things, right?
hmm
And not as critical,
hmm
right? Whereas in basketball and like these other sports, they are about a lot more critical.
Yeah, I feel like that also plays into like being like a solo sport or like in a team sport.
Yeah.
In team sport, you have a role, and like if you step out of that role, like it's risky for you, especially like for these NBA players. Some of them are there for that role specifically, even though they can do other things. They're there for that role. So I feel like with MMA and stuff, it's more like personal, more like a lot of ego involved.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. No, that's
yeah.
true. Yeah. No, I think because again, it's like I guess there are a little more emotions involved in
hmm
MMA compared to like I
Yeah.
guess like basketball, right?
I mean,
Because
then again, in basketball, you're not like punching the dude in the face and stuff like that. So
yeah,
they
no,
are
that's
different sports. So
yeah, no, that's true. But I do like the fact that how they are a bit more objective in their
hmm
analysis. I do like that aspect of it.
hmm
So before
So
we
like,
end off, do
oh,
you
okay,
have any I guess like things that you want to say that you didn't get a chance to say?
what happened?
No, I said before we end off, do you want to say anything that you didn't get a chance to say?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, so like, what specific style of like fighting did you do?
Oh, what I did?
Yeah.
So I mean, I started off with Taekwondo. I was like,
Uh-huh.
well, technically, I started off with karate, but I don't really count that because I didn't really like it,
No
and
one
I
really
didn't take it
counts
as
that.
seriously. Yeah,
Yeah. What's it called?
but then
I I went to,
I did Taekwondo. Yeah, no, I did Taekwondo when I was like younger,
mm,
and then from Taekwondo, I did wrestling in high school, right? And then after wrestling, I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then I went back and forth with that and wrestling. Then I did boxing, right? And then I did Taekwondo as well at the same time again.
okay.
And then after that, I did Muay Thai.
Mm,
And I guess now I'm like doing all together.
okay. I was gonna say, two questions for that. Like, how is the like physical strain for like a fighting athlete? Because I know like it's probably way harder than like preparing for basketball. And then second question is what like would you recommend for like someone coming into fighting out of all those like classes you took or styles you took?
Okay. So you said like like the first question was about strength, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
So like, how was it like
Oh, so
preparing
I
for
would say
fights
like
and like the physical strain?
yeah. No, what I would say is that strength for sure is a factor in fighting, right?
Hmm.
And I do not recommend being like fat or like out of shape basically. Like I do not recommend that for fighting in general. Because strength is a factor, at least in MMA. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Because the person can grab onto you, and if you are not as strong, right, it is right, and your athleticism in general, like your endurance, your stamina, and everything, is not up to par. Then like it will definitely affect you in a negative way.
So like, it's a uphill battle when you
Yeah,
start when the like fight starts.
yeah,
It's to get to the top of the mountain, right? So you don't want to
yeah,
like give 100% right away. You want to like spread it out.
yeah, yeah. No, I don't recommend. I mean, now people have their strategies and whatnot, but I do not
Mm-hmm.
recommend blowing like the steam, all your steam just in the first few seconds. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think your second question was about what style I would recommend. I think that's what you said,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on, I would say, how old you are, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like really young, like I don't know, maybe you're like 10 years old or something, I would recommend mostly a traditional martial art, to be honest. Because, and I would not recommend any sparring, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you should be, getting hit in the head that early on.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I would say is, um, but if you're a little older, like let's say you're maybe
20.
18 or 20,
Yeah.
right? Right. So I would recommend, I think striking is really, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's more simple. And I think people can pick up on it a little easier. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot more solo based. So you can even do it at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like boxing, I think would be a really good start, right? But if for some reason you can't do boxing, then maybe Muay Thai. If you can't do that either, then maybe like Taekwondo, right? Or karate, right? I think that a striking martial art would be good. But as once you're a proficient at that, I think you should get into grappling. And like again, this depends on your what health issues you have. Do you have good knees or not? Then I would recommend
So
wrestling.
grappling
But
would be like Brazilian jiu-jitsu or
yeah, Brazilian
okay.
Jiu-Jitsu or wrestling, I think that would be a good start as well. But I would say striking first and then
Hmm.
grappling. Just now,
So striking and like grappling are like both different. So what do you like? Let's say
what
you were fighting
what do I like?
someone. Yeah, because I met someone here in the Bay Area. He does
Yeah,
MMA as well. His name is Juma. He's Muslim. And I was talking to him, and he likes striking. He says that's his strongest like
yeah.
aspect.
I would say, to be honest with you, I kind of like them both.
Hmm.
But since I guess I started off with Taekwondo, I think I have a bit more of a nostalgic like attachment to it. I guess you
Hmm.
know what I mean. So I would
So,
say that's probably my answer. But generally speaking, I like them all.
mm. So your answer is
Yeah,
striking.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
That's dope. That's dope.
but it was honestly great having you, and we can do another
For sure,
session as well. Honestly,
for sure, for sure. You got to get Ramil on here, bro. All three of us.
actually, I'm down. Yeah, he said
Yeah,
he was going to join us later though. But
for sure, for sure.
yeah, but for everyone that enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe and hit that bell notification. And until next time, peace.
So.